Hello guys, welcome back to Side Memory Acts. I'm here with Mini Miner and Tube Jizzly Bog. I don't know. I was trying to make something fun out of your name, but I watched a Side Memory Acts the other day and they called you Big Jizzer, which I quite liked.
No.
I might call you Big Jizzer from now on.
Oh,
Big Jizz.
Anyway, today we're looking at the 10 most powerful gangsters ever.
jeez.
I reckon maybe
Get it?
Morrison might be on there. Maybe You know, mate, don't count them out. All
Josh's
right, let's get
GTA
started.
role plays on there.
They were the ultimate villains. They lived life king size and ruled kingdoms with iron-fisted methods. They made more money than is imaginable and spent it on
That meme.
decadent luxuries and glittering
What
parties.
film is that from?
Their
I don't know,
cruelty
but that
is
meme is the
legendary.
greatest thing ever.
Everyone, from judges, policemen, to senators and presidents, were in their pockets. They knew that real power lay with them and were not afraid to
It's
use
an
it.
epic video,
Their
I'm liking
lives
it.
are
It
the
is.
stuff movies are made of. In this video, we've listed 10 of the most powerful gangsters of all time.
Come on.
Here we
I
go.
wonder if we've heard of how many we've heard of.
Number 10, Frank Lucas.
I've heard him
Frank
referenced.
Lucas capitalized off
Yeah.
the heroin trade in the 1960s and 1970s by using an East Asian connection during the Vietnam War, cutting off the Italian mafia who controlled the trade in his Harlem at the time.
Right.
Lucas, originally from North Carolina, employed members of his family to take over the heroin trade in New York and New Jersey. Lucas would claim to have sold $1 million worth of heroin a day in his prime.
What?
I believe
And
him.
claimed to have a
Day?
net worth of
I
over
believe him.
$52
I thought that was gonna say a
million
year.
on top of a large supply of liquid assets, namely
Nah,
heroin.
yeah, that's you're slacking if it's
Number
a year,
9,
I'm not gonna lie.
Griselda Blanco.
Bruh, $1 million a
Griselda
day.
Blanco, also known as the Black Widow or the Cocaine Queen of Miami, was a drug lord for the Colombian Medellin cartel.
See, I watched Narcos, the series, and she was mentioned in this. But the Queen of Miami or the Queen of Cocaine or something. I don't know.
Can't there just be
Damn.
like
She
a
controlled the
powerful
cocaine trade
gangster
through
that doesn't do drugs?
You're not really
Okay.
gangster if you're nice, are you?
Well, how do you know?
You could be a nice gangster.
Yeah, what defines a gangster?
I feel like the way people respect you as a gangster is that kind of fear that you hold over them. If you're nice, they're not gonna fear you. You can have a nice side.
There's a
but
difference
you have to be
between
kind of
respect
ruthless,
and fear,
cutthroat.
though. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's a fine line, bro. It's a fine line.
Alright.
and invention, making $80 million a month during the 1970s and 80s.
Wow.
Reports claim that at her peak, Griselda Blanco had more than $500 million. After serving 10 years in
That's
jail
my
on
queen
drug
right there, go
charges, Blanco would return to her native Colombia. Number 8, Anthony Salerno. Italian mobster Fat Tony Salerno made his millions running the
Fat
numbers
Tony.
and drugs racket in East Harlem after most other Italian mobsters left the area, as it became more black and Latino in the 1960s, making tens of millions of dollars. As the frontman for the Genovese crime family, Salerno was named the America's top gangster
He
by
looks
Fortune
like a
magazine
gangster,
in
doesn't he?
1986.
Yeah,
Due
yeah.
to his wealth of
Cigar
more
in the
than
mouth,
$1
all that.
billion and influence. In 1988, Salerno was convicted of racketeering charges and was sentenced to 70 years in prison.
Oh,
Number 7, Carlos Lader. Lader was one of the
I'm not
founders
gonna
of
lie.
the Colombian
Too.
Medellin cartel.
I think he gets.
he's with Pablo Escobar.
But I think the last guy's got to get put down a couple places. Like he got caught. He's in jail
A lot of them get caught, bro.
and they escaped.
Eventually.
The gangster.
Who's the El Chapo? You can't hold him
Chapo.
down. I think they have
So
now.
I'm
but, like,
saying
he
he's got to be
escaped,
number
like,
2
twice.
or number 1.
While in prison, Lader met Boston-born drug trafficker George Jung, who helped him import and distribute cocaine from his native Colombia into the United States, accumulating $2.7 billion. Cocaine made Lader so rich that he owned his own island in the Bahamas and offered to pay off Colombia's debt. Lader would eventually be extradited to the
Colombia's
United
debt.
States and sentenced to life in prison, which was reduced after he agreed to testify against former Panamanian president Manuel Noriega in 1996.
He's a snitch.
Noriega.
He
Number
snitched.
6, Meyer Lansky.
You can't be on here.
Lansky was a Jewish immigrant from Poland who would make a fortune of gambling, both legal and illegal. Lansky would join notorious gangsters Charles Lucky Luciano and Ben Bugsy Siegel to run a gang that would be known as Murder Inc. Lansky would later
Jesus
turn to
Christ.
focus on gambling, setting up
Murder Inc. is
operations in Florida,
you don't want to be on the wrong side of Murder Inc.
Las Vegas, and Cuba before the Cuban Revolution. In 1982, Forbes would name him as one of the 400 richest people in America. Lansky would be indicted for tax evasion and fled to Israel. He would later return to the U.S. to face charges and was acquitted in 1974. Ransky would die a free man in Miami at age 83.
God, he killed
I'm
it,
not
mate.
gonna
He
lie,
killed it.
Number 5.
I'm hearing
Joseph
the
Kennedy.
word Miami a lot. Like, I've
Yeah,
heard
but-
Miami in every single one so far.
I think they quite like their cocaine in Miami.
That's the place where they get it all through now, because it's close to like the.
Only
You're
bad
flying,
things
yeah.
happen in Miami. That is what I am hearing.
Right. Joseph Kennedy. Joseph Kennedy is the patriarch of one of America's most powerful and prestigious families. One of his sons became president, another
Oh.
district attorney,
What?
and presidential candidate, and another a senator. At
Jesus.
his peak, Kennedy was one of the richest men in America. But as the saying goes, behind every great fortune, there is a great crime. Kennedy was already in the liquor business before Prohibition, but according to several books and gangsters, became a bootlegger with ties to the New York and Chicago underworlds after liquor was made illegal. After Prohibition ended, Kennedy made a fortune off selling legitimate liquor as well as through Hollywood and the stock market. Kennedy was named one of the 20 richest people in America in 1954 by Fortune magazine and had
How
a net
rich?
worth of more than $300 million,
Damn.
which would be in
Back
the
then,
high
that's
billions
bread.
today. It has
Oh
been
my
reported
God.
that Kennedy contacted mobster Frank Costello, who was known to brag that he was a bootlegger with Kennedy to use another mobster, Chicago's Sam Giancana, to help his son John get elected through his ties to Chicago and the
Oh,
unions.
I rate that, you know.
Number 4.
Got his son as
Amado
Yeah,
president.
you got to
Carrillo
sort out the
Fuentes.
family, you know. Got to
He
sort them
patterned
out.
it. He patterned it.
Amado Carrillo Fuentes was the head of the Mexican Juarez cartel. He was known as Lord of the Skies due to his private
That's
fleet
a
of
title.
planes, including 22 private 727 jet airliners, which were used to import cocaine from Colombia to Mexico,
Bro,
where it was later
ran
smuggled
it.
into the United States. Fuentes had an estimated net value of $25 billion, almost twice as much as Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, and the DEA called him the most powerful drug trafficker of his era. He would die while undergoing plastic surgery to alter his appearance in 1997.
Imagine being that much of a bad man and dying to plastic surgery.
I reckon he was doing it to try and avoid capture, though. I don't think he was doing it to like try and he didn't like his, his nose or like he didn't like his ears or something. I think he was trying to like make himself look like not like him so he could get away.
Joaquin Guzman Loera.
Ah, El
El
Chapo.
Chapo is one of Mexico's most powerful drug lords. He
He's
is the
G'd up.
head of the Sinaloa cartel, which smuggles in billions of dollars from Colombia through Mexico and into the United States. Guzman became rich enough to make Forbes' list of 1,000 wealthiest people in the world, as well as their top 60 most powerful people in the world, with a net worth of over $5 billion. Guzman was jailed in 1993, but escaped from prison in 2001, and is currently #1 on the FBI's most wanted list.
They
with
got
a
him, I
$5 million
think. I think they got
reward
him.
for his capture.
They did, didn't
Number
they?
2,
Yeah.
Al Capone.
Everyone knows Al Capone.
Al Capone is perhaps the most powerful gangster of all time, and also one of the
why is
richest.
he number 2
During
then?
Prohibition, Capone
Yo, wait
controlled
till
the
you hear
illegal
number
alcohol,
1, my friend.
I'm
prostitution,
gonna. I think I can guess who #1 is.
KSI.
gambling rackets in Chicago, which brought in
Shows
$100
him in the
million
pull-up
a
video.
year at its prime. Capone's money allowed him to bribe police officials, judges, and even the mayor of Chicago. Unfortunately, he could not bribe the IRS, who convicted him of tax evasion in 1932 and sentenced him to 11 years in prison. Number 1.
Here
Pablo
he is.
Escobar.
There he is.
Man, like.
Escobar is perhaps the most powerful drug lord of the modern era. He ran the Medellin cartel, which imported billions of dollars of cocaine into the United States. Pablo's money brought him great power, as he was able to bribe officials or have them killed if they wouldn't take his bribes. Forbes magazine named Escobar the 7th richest man in the world, with a net worth of $25 billion.
Surely
In
that doesn't
1993,
that
Escobar-
shouldn't count, you know. You
do you
shouldn't,
mean?
You shouldn't be put on Forbes.
Yeah, you should.
Well, if
Yeah,
everyone
he's a-
knows how you're making your money and
Yeah, he's still got the P's. Like he like it may be a bit
They are.
controversial way of making it, but he's made the P's.
was killed by Colombian forces with U.S. assistance after he escaped from a Colombian prison. That concludes our video of the 10 most powerful gangsters of all time.
I was watching videos the other day about how the Albanians essentially control all of the UK coke supply. They just took over the game, which I thought was quite interesting. So
Who ran the game before then?
I should know this. It was said in the video. It's said in the video. I don't know. There was someone else that was like running it, and then the Albanians just came in and just shook the game up. So shout out
I
Albanians.
swear one of those TV shows, like one of the TV shows that's about that, is always like they're fighting the Albanians.
You don't want to fight an Albanian. I think that's a bad
Oh.
idea. Well, thanks for watching, boys. We'll see you next time.